The way baby is positioned plays such a huge role in how our labor and delivery process is, and it can make all the difference between it being smooth or a little more rough. And so we want to do all we can, and there are things that we can do to encourage baby to get in the best position for labor and delivery so that process is smooth. If you're new here, I'm Naomi. I'm currently 41 weeks pregnant. Yes, 41 weeks pregnant with a beautiful baby girl, and she could come at any point now, but as of right now, she's happy where she is, snug as a bug in a rug. So let's get into these different ways that you can encourage baby to get into the right position. These are actually all things that I have done myself to help my baby girl get in the right position. There was a point where she wanted to be on the right side, and we had to do some things to get her back in a great position. If you don't know already, the best position for baby to be in for labor and delivery is going to be head down, of course. So we don't want them breech, which is head up. We want them head down. And then we also want them on the left side. So you may hear this referred to as LOA, which is left occiput anterior. But it basically just means that they're head down on the left side and kind of towards the front. So this is my left side. I'm not sure which side it looks like on the camera, whether it looks like left or right, but this is me touching my left side. So we want their back over here, head down, and kind of like towards the front. So with their face facing towards our back. So we want their back in the front, their face facing towards the back. So that is the optimal position for them to be in to come out the smoothest. And you can look up pictures and things like this, and it will make so much sense because it's the way that their head is, the way that their body moves through our pelvis, and it just makes it so much easier for them to come out. It makes it easier on us and them. So the first thing that we can do to encourage baby to get in the right position is kind of a beast. If you haven't heard of it already, it's called the mile circuit. And yes, it's a beast. It's a 90-minute circuit. So definitely make sure that you have time for this. I did this twice in one day, and it does take some time, but it's so worth it because it really does help baby get into the right position. But it's really not that bad. So it's 30 minutes and 3 different poses for each. So hence 90 minutes. The first pose is like a child's pose. So you're getting your butt up as far in the air, laying over, and definitely look this up if you're interested in it so that you can kind of get a better visual of how these positions look and how to do it. There's also videos that you can look up that'll help guide you through how to do this. But that's the first pose. The second pose is like lying on your side, on your left side, with your right leg up and over and kind of propped up, kind of like you're cuddling with a like a pregnancy pillow, kind of like that. But it's kind of exaggerated even more. So you're gonna want to stuff pillows under your knee to get it up as high as possible. And the third is getting up and getting moving. So doing lunges, you can do curb walking, things like that. And so the purpose of this circuit, the first piece of it, which is the child's pose, this is supposed to help bring baby out of your pelvis. The side lying position helps flip them to the right position because they have to be out of your pelvis to help them flip a little better. So first portion helps pull them out, second piece helps flip them, and then the third piece is going to help them get back engaged into your pelvis in the right position. So it's definitely worth looking into. I've done it several times myself, and it does help a lot. The next thing we can do to encourage baby to get in the right position is inversions. This is where you kind of prop yourself up on something and basically kind of get upside down. So I will probably try to insert something here because I actually was doing this not too long ago. But this is something that can help breech babies, encourage them to flip. So if you're experiencing your baby is in breech, then that's something that you can do to help flip them. And then just also, even for head down babies, it encourages them to stay head down also, and can just help their positioning. So Definitely, if your baby is already head down, you can still do inversions to help keep them in the right position and encourage them to get in even better position. The next thing that we can do to encourage baby to get in the right position is seeing a chiropractor. Now, this is something that I honestly didn't realize was as beneficial as it is, especially because sometimes there's some negative connotation on chiropractors and, oh, they're just popping your bones and stuff like that. But you have to see the right chiropractors. And so that's something that I've learned, is that there are really great chiropractors out there for prenatal, so us during pregnancy, and then there are also even pediatric chiropractors that can adjust your baby once they come out. And there's a lot of benefits to, if you didn't know, a lot of benefits to pediatric chiropractic work because it can help babies with colic who are experiencing gas or having issues sleeping. So that can actually really help the baby. But during our pregnancy, this can help encourage baby to get in the right position, because the chiropractors who specialize in prenatal chiropractic, the technique that they called is Webster. So make sure that if you're seeing someone for chiropractic during your pregnancy, that they are using the Webster technique. But they're looking at the position of baby. They're also feeling your hips, your pubic bone. This is in my experience, because I have seen a chiropractor a couple of times. So to help baby get into a better position as much as possible, and also to help open up my hips. But they are looking at your pelvis. They're helping balance it out, helping the fluidity of your pelvis as well, because for me, that's something that my chiropractor said, like, my hips were kind of tight, so the adjustments that she did were to help get them more fluid and having more movement to them. And then she also encouraged me, like, coming home, getting on the birth ball to help just keep my pelvis fluid. And that helps not only baby get into a better position by opening up the hips, but also will help us during birth, so that we have more movement, so that they can move through our pelvis better. But as far as the positioning of baby, it helps encourage them get into a better position, because a lot of times with the chiropractic work, they're helping not only align our pelvis, they're opening us up too, to give baby more room. And so this is something that I can definitely attest for, because after my adjustments, I did notice my baby was wiggling around a lot more. Hence, she had way more room to move around. It's already close, very tight quarters in there. So this just helped open up even more, so she has a little more room to move around and get into the position that she needs to be in. So this is definitely something to look into, and that can help encourage them to get in the best position. The next thing that we can do to help encourage baby to get in the right position is curb walking. Now, what this does, and if you don't know what curb walking is, I'm sure you've heard of it, but if not, it's exactly what it sounds like. So you're walking along the curb. One foot you're walking with on the curb, and the other foot is on the lower ground. So this basically offsets your pelvis, so that way, if this is your pelvis, it's like kind of rocking it like this, and then you're switching sides too. Basically just to keep your pelvis fluid, keep it moving, and also just kind of tilting it back and forth and allowing baby to move around to get into optimal position. A way that you can do this is, this is the way that I've done it, is curb walking on one leg for 15 minutes and then curb walking on the other leg for 15 minutes. And then after that, I kind of just did some regular walking, because it can be tiring. But this is really helpful. Honestly, your hips feel really great after it, truthfully, because you can just feel how open they are and how fluid. It's a good little workout. The next thing that can help encourage your baby get into optimal position, and don't sleep on it, is your birth ball. Birth balls have so many amazing uses, and I promise you, if you don't do anything else and you just have your birth ball, then you can definitely encourage your baby in all the ways to get into the right position. But there's so many things that you can do. It's very versatile. You can do hip circles, you can do pelvic tilts, you can rock side to side. You can also do forward leaning using your ball, forward lunges using your ball. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use your ball to help your baby get into optimal position. And it's really great for your pelvic movement, honestly, which obviously is what we're targeting to help get baby into the right position. But even if you're experiencing like lower back pain, achy hips, things like that, your birth ball is going to be your saving grace. It really helps a lot. I've experienced some pelvic or hip pain, not really pain, but hip soreness, lower back soreness, and my birth ball has helped so much with that. So don't sleep on it. If you're just, around your house, or if you're just watching TV, if you're on your phone, if you're reading a book, or just doing something, if you're working from home, then just sit on your birth ball, and instead of like a regular chair. I try to sit in my birth ball as much as possible. I'm sitting in this regular chair for the purposes of this video, but if I were not, then I would definitely be on my ball. And especially in these later stages of pregnancy, I mean, I'm 41 weeks now, so definitely in here towards the end, but definitely in the later stages of pregnancy, your birth ball is going to be really great to help encourage your baby get into optimal position, but also stay in optimal position. So you want to make sure that also when you're lounging around and things like that, that you're being cognizant of how you are positioning your body too, because this is going to play a big role in where your baby is at, where your baby's positioned. So avoiding reclining back like in a chair, things like that. So you want to make sure that you're keeping the rule that I like to go off of is keeping my shoulders at least in alignment with my hips. And then when I can, I try to lean them forward above my hips to just keep that positioning, to keep her where she needs to be. So all these are ways that you can help encourage your baby get into the right position. And if they are in the right position, these are all things that you can continue to do to keep them in the right position. So definitely don't be discouraged by continuing to do them if your baby's already, or be afraid of continuing to do them if your baby's already in a good position, because babies wiggle around. Just because they're in the right position now doesn't mean that they won't move out of it. So that's why, you can definitely continue to do these things to get them in the right position and keep them in the right position so that you have a smooth labor and delivery process. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, and I wish you the best in your pregnancy journey and your upcoming labor and delivery.